welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast episode 203. That's 203. I am your co-host, Kiley Wilde. I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett.
Hello.
And a very special guest who was here exactly 1 year ago. WTF, yo, what? Max.
Hello. I know, it's been a year, isn't it?
It's been a year, exactly.
Yeah, since the first time I was on the show. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's not like you've been counting the days down or anything, has it, Kiley?
No, not me, ever. Dan Game Tank TV said, that was a year ago. Yeah, 1 year ago exactly.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah, because it was around about this time last year that I came up to Manchester.
Yes.
I was going to say. Mm-hmm.
That would have been back end of May for format, wasn't it?
Format,
Yes.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, as we've talked many times on here, and Mike Tindo, best friend of the show, sent Pete to format. I say sent, but it was his emissary. Where Pete met Mags.
Yeah.
So Pete met Mags way before. And then I met him a year ago.
Yeah.
And then I went to TwitchCon with him this year. See, I brought it back around.
There you go. So what's the show going to be about today then?
So today's show is going to be about TwitchCon and Timeless. What's Timeless, you ask? Well, go listen to the episode 1 year ago. Duh.
Oh, or you can go and listen to every other episode where we've bigged it up for the last few months as well.
Yeah.
That and also stick around. Okay, that is adorable, Mike. That is adorable. Mike Tindo, best friend of the show, says Mike Tindo 64, aka Gamer Cupid, which is adorable.
It's correct.
Danker says, "Who's Manchester?"
Oh, I was trying to work that out, and now you.
I was, yeah.
It makes sense. I was reading it, and I was like, I don't get what he's on about.
I feel like such a dumbass for reading that and not understanding it.
Kylie's the only one that understood it. I was like, what?
It's clearly we're on the low end of the intelligence spectrum.
No, all I was thinking about was man's chest hair, and I was like, what? Why is he talking about man's chest hair?
Why does it get all matted when you get a body part through it?
Why are you talking about this? This is not TwitchCon. Maybe. No. So this episode, if you have not gathered, which you should hopefully have inferred and guessed and suspected, is about... Oh, crap. I was actually going to say Timeless. It is about Timeless, but right now it's about
later.
TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Pete, do you want to ask us questions? Do you want us to launch into it? Do you want...
Should we do a catch up with what we've been playing, what we've been discussing and all that, what we've been off doing for the last 2 weeks?
Look, Mags is here and I just want to talk to Mags, okay? So yes, Pete, you are correct. Pete!
Come back, you. No, come back.
No.
Don't go running off.
Pete,
No, this is now happy hour. It's been co-opted.
No, it's not. I haven't drank yet.
No, I'm not drinking, so yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so it's only that. But anyway, Pete, how has your week been?
Yeah, it's been alright. Been busy. Been all over the place. No, it's been a manic, but because it's all personal stuff that I can't really want or not really want to discuss. So it's just been a very, very busy week, and I am absolutely exhausted. But during the last 2 weeks, actually, in terms of games played, I've played one game. This was actually very kindly won via a giveaway on Twitter.
Ooh.
Nice.
Very nice.
And I'm blanking on the bloody name of the game. Christ, you can tell I'm knackered. Jesus Christ. So, oh God, what? Holy Pine Hearts. For Christ's sakes. I've been playing Pine Hearts.
Oh,
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I won a code on Twitter, which was really cool. So thanks to the developers for sending that over. Yeah, I've played about 2 hours of it. Got through most of the demo area that we'd obviously played at WASD, and got a little bit further than that, so I won't reveal obviously what happens afterwards for those who do want to play the game, but it's still as charming and as wonderful as it was when we played it at WASD. You'll be happy to know with the PC code, locked 60, perfect performance, not a glitch in sight. It's been a beautiful experience, and it looks very, very nice on a decent monitor. So yeah, I've been very, very happy with it so far, and I will continue to play it and check back with you over the next few weeks.
Good, very good. Mike Tendo says, I just want to know if Mag had any Kevins. I don't know what that means. But I'm not very smart. Brent says, as for my week, I haven't played much because I was out of town for a mini vacay celebrating belated Father's Day and early birthday for myself and my dad. Very cool.
Very nice.
We stayed in historic Savannah, eating at the oldest building. It was made out of gingerbread. It was great. Learning at a couple of museums and watching Independence Day fireworks from a riverboat cruise.
Amazing.
Guys, I have been in the UK so long, I forgot that it was Independence Day until I was on like Instagram or whatever.
Even I knew it was Independence Day.
Mags and I saw fireworks, but that will come up later. And no, I don't mean, well, no.
Let's leave that alone, shall we?
So in the past 2 weeks...
He looks disgusted by that.
Yeah, no, thanks. That makes me feel great. So in the past 2 weeks, I went up to the north for work, started ukulele. Cool.
Nice.
I've yet to play that. I've wanted to, which has been great. And actually started classic sport racing, which has also been fun. Very cool. Mike says Kevin Bacon Mag. Yes, we are definitely going to discuss that.
Wait, did you also read apparently that I won a code over Twitter, but I didn't actually use Twitter?
Oh, there it is. Wait, you won a code on Twitter? You don't even use Twitter. Oh, more on that later, by the way.
The podcast Twitter. Thank you very much.
And then Mike says, that's because you're more Irish than American now, Kylie. That is true.
Correct.
I in fact have the visa papers to prove that.
Does that mean that that Mike Tendo is more Spanish than English now?
Oh, yeah.
Then, by that logic.
Spain. España.
Does that mean he's supporting Spain if it happens to win the Euros?
Wait, wasn't Mike? Weren't you posting about that in the Discord?
Yes,
I think
he was.
I think
he was.
Discord just hits like all the time. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying.
Anyway.
Oh, Max. Yes, it's your turn.
Oh, hello.
What have you been doing? How's your week been, stranger?
Oh yeah,
what have you played?
I got back from a little event called TwitchCon.
Oh, really? We should talk about that at some point.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've been so busy with other stuff trying to get things because we're only nearly 5 weeks away from Timeless now, so it's a bit crazy. I've not really had a lot of time to play anything, so we'll talk about the games we did get to play at TwitchCon. But the only thing I really have played, which stems off the stream I did last Thursday, was this Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Okay, I want to hear more. How have you been finding it?
I absolutely adore it. So I streamed it on Thursday. My copy turned up while I was at TwitchCon because obviously it came out a week last Friday.
Yep.
So I streamed it the Thursday after. We'd already talked about it on the talk show on the Tuesday, and it got a really good score. So I was really looking forward to it. And it just... I was at another gaming event yesterday, so I haven't... For my sins, I've already been to another gaming event since TwitchCon. So I only got to play this for about an hour last night. But then I've probably put about 2-3 hours in this afternoon. And it's great. Now, coming from someone that's never played the original, I didn't know what to expect. But I know obviously a lot about the Luigi's Mansion games. But it's fantastic. It's a great little puzzle game. It's very funny where it needs to be. I just like all the little mannerisms and things about it. It's just very well done, and they've not tried to do anything major with it. Obviously, they've upscaled it and made it look better. They've not really changed anything with it. So if anyone I think this is what we talked about on Tuesday, is the fact that for people like me who've never played it, this is going to be like way up there, like on the scoring system. But I think people who've played the original might play it hoping there's going to be new hidden stuff and that, and I'll be like, oh, it's not. It's just a makeover. So I hear that some people have been a little bit disappointed, but not in a disappointed in like a bad way. Just like, oh, this was a 9.5 out of 10 game for me when it first came out, and now it's like, oh yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 game for me. Whereas I'm like, yeah, this is great. It's great fun to play. It's an absolute joy.
Makes sense.
Runs beautifully.
I mean, I guess if you've already played the original game, like this is a little bit of a reskin. It's just and it's only been out. I can't remember when it came out on the 3DS, but I think from what I've also heard, it was a little bit more like it was a little bit more limited in the fact that it was obviously a handheld experience. It was more placated towards being a handheld experience with the level design and everything.
It was, and it's funny how they've transitioned that over, because it's quite funny because I've been playing it both on the big screen and on Switch portable, but it still has the things at the DS. So when you look through windows, you can move the Switch up and down as if you're looking through a window. So it's kept some of the little things, and there's the little in jokes. So they've changed little bits of it. But yeah, I think also anyone who's played Luigi's Mansion 3 back in 2019 will probably find this also a step down, because how involved that is. But for me, as a first time game, and I try not to play games that are remastered. Pete at the start of the year was like, oh my god, why have they done Last of Us Part 2 again, remastered, blah blah blah. And I totally agree with that, because they really shouldn't have brought it out in short space. But I'd never played it, so for me that was a great experience, and this is the same for me really in that respect. Yeah. For
me, it was the reason why I didn't buy it. I haven't played the original game, but I'm not the biggest Luigi's Mansion fan anyway. Yeah. So it was just, for me, it was just like, well, another remaster in a sort of lackluster Nintendo year for me. So it was like, didn't really feel like putting my money down on it.
It's a funny one, because most of the game, it seems to be very half and half this year with Nintendo. Especially is the fact that I've probably streamed more Nintendo games this year than I've ever previously had.
Yeah.
But ironically, half of them have been remakes, and half of them have been brand new games. And it's going to be, I think that's going to continue this year, for the rest of this year.
I think it sort of makes sense with the Paper Mario remake to some degree, because they did retool all the music, they did all of that. I don't agree that it should have been remade or remastered, but it is a slightly older game on a system that is not as accessible. And the copies of the game go for a stupid amount of money these days, so it does kind of make it a little bit more accessible to those. So I can understand it a bit more, but this is less than 10 years old.
I have to say thank you to Danker for the 1 bit. Can't agree. Nice reskin texture, but it's better to have all the franchise on one console versus spread across many. Which I do agree.
Can't
so
disagree.
Thank you so much for that. And then Nana says DS and Wii U stuff gets a pass in my mind because those consoles aren't supported no more. And the Wii U obviously bombed. It did. And then Mike says the level design is broken up into smaller missions, and it's a filler year, which, yes, it is. It absolutely is.
Yeah. It definitely is.
The one thing I will say is, because not being used to it, is it keeps pulling you back. And Mike's right, it keeps pulling you back into like this hub area where you speak to like the professor. And I was a bit like, oh, well, this is weird, because it doesn't let you go back and explore. But then I'm very wrong, because it is that sort of almost like a Metroidvania thing, because then you get more abilities, then you go back. And I realised, yes, you then go open more parts of the mansion, but if you go back to old parts, you can unlock other stuff in bits you've already been. And I was like, oh, that makes you want to explore more and cover it more.
It's the collectathon style of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to sound like a massive hypocrite anyway when it turns out that we talk about Marvel vs. Capcom's re-release that's coming at some point, and me going to buy them several times. I'm a Capcom shill, all right? We know it.
Oh, we have a Capcom story for you later.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Kylie, how's your week been? Played anything? Or not really?
I have played something. Do I talk about it now or at the end of the show? I'll go more into it at the end of the show. But I went ahead and re-grabbed Hitman World of Assassination, because there's
God,
a new what?
we're
What,
gonna have to
Pete?
name the show this, aren't we?
Assassination? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have that on Assassin's Creed.
We did, yeah, actually.
But there is a new hit out on one Conor McGregor. So
Who doesn't want to kill Conor
about...
McGregor in Minecraft?
Okay, well, we'll talk more about that at the end of the show because there's a reason why. Mike says you wanted to kill McGregor, didn't you? Danker says love the Assassination. Yeah, that has to be the title. Anyway, swiftly, not so swiftly, moving on. And if anyone wants to redeem this glass, hey, it's empty.
For goodness sakes.
I know, I'm supposed to be sipping this 13% volume by volume.
Chug, 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 chug.
Sipping, what's that? But I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. Pete, do you want to? Thank you, Mike. Do you want to intro TwitchCon?
I guess I can.
Okay.
Because
So,
although
let me
you
tell
know
the
about it
audience.
more than I do.
Yeah. Let me tell the audience what happened this week. We've said this before many times. In America, Sunday is the first day of the week. In
It's
the
not.
UK, Sunday is the last day of the week.
Mm.
So when Pete says next week, I think he's talking about this Sunday, as in today.
Yeah, she thought I was
Not-
away still.
Yeah, so was
Well-
very confused. Well, no, I wasn't confused. I thought Pete was away in Essex this week. That's not till
No,
next
that's next week.
So I did not prep as well as I should have because I was just gonna coast. So
I'm confused, so if that
Look,
helps.
sounds about normal for this show anyway. Let's coast on through.
let's wing it.
Yeah. All right,
Anyway.
I guess our intro to some degree, and then I can ask some leading
now that-
questions, and
I was
it'll
gonna
get
say,
the
or I can
conversation
ask
going.
Max questions, which would be weird because I know the answers to them.
It'll be brilliant because then I'll just be sat there saying absolutely nothing for the rest of the
Exactly.
show, and I'll just be sitting here
That's
going,
not
yeah,
fun.
cool, sweet.
That's not fun for anyone. So yes, Pete, go for it.
So, I guess, and please correct me if I'm wrong in my information here. TwitchCon was held in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands, or Holland, as some might call it. And I believe the event was the 29th and the 30th of June.
Yes, it was.
So it was a 2-day spectacular, let's say, where content creators and Twitch watchers, mods and personnel all rub shoulders and mingle together to some degree. Mags, would I be wrong in thinking any of that?
No, you have got that hit the nail straight on the head, Pete. That's exactly what it was all about.
Sweet, I clearly did my research. Excellent. So, the leading question to Kiley to start is, how was the event?
Go with the sarcastic answer, which you all want me to do,
Of
or I
course.
can defy expectation and go with the real answer.
Go sarcastic and then go actual genuine answer afterwards.
Might get me banned off Twitch. So it says, were there any hot tubs? Only in my mind, Mike. Only in my mind. No, I do have to say first though, me and Max also had to travel very, very far.
Yeah.
Not is far the right word?
Okay,
A lot.
well,
Yeah.
Let me
Long.
ask then, what was your travel arrangements to get there? Obviously, you probably flew, but
I flew from Ireland into Gatwick and then waited on Mags, who had to take like 6-7 different trains.
and
Felt
you
like it
didn't,
anyway.
and you didn't once call me. No, I'm joking.
No, what's funny though, Pete, that's funny because I was at Gatwick and I was telling Mags the whole time, I'm gonna get lost. You're gonna have to find me. Pete, you were on speed dial in my mind. I was like, okay, if I can't do this, I'm calling Pete immediately to try to figure out where the heck I am.
It's almost like an expert at Gatwick for some reason.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
Pete is the Gatwick expert. So I had to stay there for 3 hours. Danker, more on that for sure.
Yeah, Max, just to preface this, Gatwick is about 30 minutes down that way from me.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I had a 3 hour, I guess you could call it a layover. I don't know. But then Mags, who can let you know, he had a lot more traveling to do.
I left at 10 o'clock in the morning from here to get a train into Birmingham, which then from Birmingham to Euston, to then a tube from Euston to Victoria, for another train from Victoria to Gatwick.
Wow, yeah. I'm surprised there was a train that went direct to Gatwick from Victoria. It does, but that's surprising.
Yeah, and that got me there for 1:15 in the afternoon. So that was about a good 4 hours, 15 minutes just to get there on trains.
Good God.
It was a lot was coming back, actually. But yeah, so and then obviously we flew out and landed in Amsterdam, which ironically was the easiest bit, was flying out, because that was the shortest bit. It was a 45-minute flight. 30 minutes, though, to get through security, which was just dragged on. But then quite easily got a train from the airport to Rotterdam, which, again, would have been easy, but there was delays because apparently some engineering work, because we were about to get a train, and then all these guys in helmets appeared, and then the police turned up, and then we were like, what's going on? But then the man announcement said, oh, all trains have stopped for 20 minutes because they're doing some engineering work. And they did it, and then all the trains went off again. So we had to hang around for 20 minutes, not really knowing what was going on. But then, I mean, what time did we get the Rotterdam? I can't even think what time. Was it about 7 o'clock?
I think it was a little bit closer to 8.
8 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah.
With the fact that
so we left around 7. Yeah.
Sorry, just I want to call attention to this comment that Mike Nintendo has made. Does anyone get the reference?
Yeah, I do.
Thank goodness.
What I'm going to say is, do. That's what I'll say.
Yes.
Yes, and he's now chased it up by saying it's a little bit of Beautiful South for you.
Yes.
There you go.
I grew up with that band.
I think everyone in our age bracket did.
Well, my parents are huge fans, so when we do road trips, it was
Do you know what I'm gonna say? This the thing that's really funny is while we were away at TwitchCon, obviously Glastonbury was on, and I have seen nothing of Glastonbury. I've heard nothing about it. The only bit of footage I saw randomly that popped on my Facebook was Paul Heaton's performance.
Excellent.
Performing Beautiful South songs.
Amazing.
And he even did Happy Hour, and he got Norman Cook to come and play bass on it, because obviously he was in the House Martins. But that is hilarious that obviously we've made the joke about the Beautiful South, but that's the only thing that I've seen. You couldn't tell me anything about Glastonbury because I've heard nothing, but that's just going off.
You're not missing much, to be honest, apart from Avril Lavigne basically completely killing off one of the stages.
Oh goodness!
There were people being turned away from her performance because it was so popular.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh,
I did read a news report about Russell Crowe's performance apparently at the acoustic tent.
I didn't hear about that. It's the only thing I know about Glastonbury. I couldn't give a flying monkeys about Glastonbury.
But there you go. Anyway, so we digress. But yeah, we got there. So the travel, it was a lot of long hours. Ironically, the flight was probably the easiest part of it.
So
really, well,
where did you fly into?
Amsterdam.
Oh, okay, and then took the train down from there.
Yeah.
Double-deckered train?
Later on, we did experience that.
The double-decker trains are awesome.
They are really cool.
Oh, it's very strange. Never seen that before.
Which is surprising, because Amtrak trains in America.
Oh, yeah, but Amtrak's up north, not in,
fair point.
Texas. Yeah, so we did. We got to Rotterdam, got settled in, and it was fine. Then Max and I had to 2 days of holiday and stuff like that. And then it was time for Friday we did badge pickup. These
Yeah,
wonderful things.
yeah. So we probably should say about the whole transport system in Rotterdam,
Yes.
just generally, is insanely better than anything we've got over here.
So
Yes.
talk us through it. Obviously, like, so you have a whole day just for collecting your badge.
Yeah. So what's because there's thousands and thousands of people that go. And only 2 days, which to me seems short for a convention of that size, especially with the amount of stuff that they cram in, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
So they basically dedicate a day where you just go pick up your badges, so that then you can walk straight in on the Saturday without having to queue.
Amazing.
Which I think is really cool.
It was a very good idea.
And we hopped on a bus, which literally took 20-25 minutes, which was like the equivalent of paying £2. And it took us literally across the road from the Ahoy Centre, which is where it was being held. And there were some quite strict rules about it. No one was allowed any form of backpacks. If you turned up with a backpack, you had to put it in a locker place that you would collect.
That's really unusual.
Yeah, no form of bags, anything. If you got recording equipment, you got to hold it. So there's that. Small little mini backpacks and stuff were allowed, and also certain guests got certain presents you could put stuff in. So I got this little bag that I could chuck my phone and stuff in, which was fine. The other thing that riled a few people up is the fact they stated that no bottles of drink were allowed, full stop, no water, no nothing. Yet they kept advertising, stay hydrated. And a lot of people took to Twitter to criticise them and state, how can we stay hydrated when you won't even let us in water? What it turned out was it was the big bottles of water they weren't allowing in. Standard water were fine because we walked in with some. I think it was just the fact that it was the giant bottles. They said to a few people, no, you've got to get rid of them.
What about if you had a bottle like this? Are you able to take them in?
I don't think those were allowed in.
I don't think those were allowed either.
I think it was only your was it
so the plastic bottles
or 500? Yeah, just the little
Yeah,
ones.
the 500 ml ones probably.
Yeah.
So when you get there,
even though that's 500 mils.
I know.
And it's funny because they even stated if you buy the Twitch bottles and come back in, they won't let you in with that bottle that you bought. So they did make you aware that certain merch you would buy, you won't be able to get back in.
That is a little bit ridiculous, actually.
So security in that respect was probably a little bit over the top, but for an event and for an event this size and the amount of people trawling through, I was very kind of taken that, do you know what? They seem to know what they're doing. They know how they want to do it. And it was so well run. It was like a well-oiled machine. As soon as you walked across the road to centre, there's people holding signs like, ask me anything. If you were like, where do I go? Boom. And it was a mix of Dutch and American people basically guiding. And then they basically put you in queues. And security saw if you had the bag. They said, look, you got to go put your bag in the thing. But they let you back in your place.
Yes.
So you didn't look like you had to go back in the queue. They were like, we'll wait here. You go put your bag away, you come back and get your space, and then we'll move on to the next person.
That's pretty decent, actually. It seems very efficient.
I was gonna say that, like me and Max being in line, and other people, in front of us or whatever, it didn't bother us that they could leave, go drop their bag off, and come back to their place. It was fine. Yeah, like that should have happened. That was correct. That's how it should have gone, and it went. And nobody had like hurt feelings or anger or anything like that.
Oh, so what you're saying is the Dutch have now perfected queuing systems better than the English.
It was the
English have never perfected queuing systems. Let's face it.
No, we just love a queue.
We just love a queue and then love to moan about it. But it's
well. Mike says, so TwitchCon was better than EGX. Well,
I don't know what EGX is. I've never heard of it. Sorry. I've been told I suffered from so much trauma from an event I went to back end of last year that I can't remember it. So I don't know what EGX is.
What event is that? Is that European Gamma Expo?
I get it confused because I thought it was MCM Comic Con this year.
Oh.
Ouch.
Anyway.
Sick burn.
Shots fired.
We were entertained. Woo! what was funny is obviously you're in a queue, and we thought we were going to be there for hours because we were like, let's get there when it opens because it's open for 8 hours to get your passes on the Friday. So you're thinking, right, you want to get there early because there's going to be huge queues. Not at any real point was there any huge queues because it was so well organised. They kept people moving. And the fact that they had DJs entertaining you, doing 2-hour sets, who were great. And the girl that we saw DJing when we were there was also the girl that started the opening ceremony. Mm-hmm. Good. Hello, Jessie.
Hello, Jessie.
Don't distract him, but then puts a comment about distracting. I'm joking, Jessie.
Yeah. It's fine. So we literally got through, and then they did the security things where you go through the things, security scanners, and then you get into the first hall, and then they split you into.
Yeah, we got separated there.
Basically, are either affiliates, partners, guest community. That's what they call guests, and then other things. And you get into different things. And again, my queue was quite quick. And then you went and you got some merch. I got some merch because I'm an affiliate. Partners got more stuff, and also partners. There was a partner lounge where you could have free breakfast and God knows what else because I've seen the pictures. Really cool. Which is all right, yeah. But I got a little goodie bag, which is cool. A little purple goodie bag, and the day after, managed to get a set of really cool sunglasses, which ironically were made by the same people as the Sonic Frontier glasses. But they say
that he was wearing at the same time.
Yeah, I was wearing both, so it's quite funny. But yeah, so you literally did that, and they asked you a few questions. It was a bit like being at passport control. Then you had to show some ID, and then they did that, and boom, and then you were out, and you were out the building, back into like the big courtyard, and then they had a mini merch pop-up stand. And that was it. And we weren't even there for half an hour.
No, not at all. Yeah, because I think it opened at 12. We got there just before 12:30, and we were in and out. No pun intended, Danker. And then we were free to walk around, and I think that they had the big duck set up.
Oh yeah, they had the big duck, the big giant duck there.
Yeah.
A few other things were popping. Oh, they had the big signage.
Yeah. So the signage was great. I mean, as a person who works in media printing, I was like,
they really had taken over the whole convention center. Like from just to, like the fact that they'd glazed over all the windows with their branding on the outside and the boards to what they did inside. It's like just that alone, not even considering the AV aspects of it, which we'll talk about.
Yes,
they
can't wait.
Days to prepare it all.
Had to. Yeah. Okay. Mike says, "What the duck?" Exactly.
Yeah. So this was the Friday, right? So just all your badge collection and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just badge collection.
Okay. So do you want to talk us a little bit more about obviously how it was run on the Saturday? Like what sort of things were there to see and do?
Yeah. Go on, Kylie. I'll let you.
Well, we got there. Big Jesse says, "I heard ducks. Now I'm excited." We got there pretty early. I think we got there like just as it opened.
That's typical for you both.
Well, yeah, because the opening ceremony, which I was like so psyched about, started at 10. Now, I will say this. They did have and this is not a criticism, it's just a kind of observation. They had a little bit of time flow problem.
Yeah.
I don't think they quite anticipated the length of the opening ceremony. So we got there fairly early, but like right as the opening ceremony started. So we got in, we got seats. Unfortunately, here's what I was sad about. Now, we got there early, but we didn't get there super early like the crazy people did. So they all got like there was a catwalk, and so they all got to sit in that mosh pit catwalk. And they all got free posters covered.
Yeah, all signed. There was 100 limited edition posters created by a content creator, which they unveiled an official poster. And they all had them under the seats. And they said the people in the 100 seats that are around the catwalk who got in first, you've just got a limited edition poster. But they were selling those
annoyed by that.
for £26.
Jesus.
Yeah, which is insane. Look, it was a nice poster, but it wasn't that great. And let me just say this. This is just me. This reflects no one else's views or opinions. But this shirt I'm wearing is from Streamlabs. Shout out Streamlabs. Streamlabs. Wait for a second. And I'm sorry, but this art, to me personally, I preferred it over the poster and the other t-shirts. That's just me. And guess what? It was free, which is probably influencing my like of it.
You look, things are always better when they're free.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. That's true. Danker says sometimes being early is an advantage. This is true. But holy crap. And I will let Mags continue and expand on this, because I asked him about this. The AV setup was out of this world. I don't know how many of you might have streamed it on Twitch, because it was actually streaming at the same time. In person, holy crap, it was absolutely impressive and absolutely astounding to me as just an observer who doesn't know that much about AV. I know about print media. I don't know that much about AV stuff. But Max, yes, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so obviously we got into this first auditorium, which is like the first big room that you've got, and it seats a couple of thousand, and that's no joke. There was a couple of thousand people in there. As Kylie said, the timing things was a bit off because they opened the doors at 10, the opening ceremony was half 10, and I had a 5-minute countdown going, but when it got to 0, the 5-minute countdown started again, which was a bit weird.
It was very weird.
But it filled up very, very quickly. But the fact that it was a huge stage, we're talking, you basically, back in the day of E3, when you went to see the Xbox showcase or anything like that, oh my God, it was like that. It was like huge screens, lasers, smoke, giant video walls, and everything was so slick. We looked behind us, you could see the auto cue for what they were saying. And I couldn't fault the production. It looked astounding. That's the sort of production that would take, again, a couple of days to put together. And everything was just, okay, the timing was a little bit off. And again, that leads to something else that we witnessed.
Yes.
But that was only kind of the one real fault, and it wasn't a major fault. But it was just so well done, how it was done, like, blah, 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 please bring out... And I know Pete's going to hate me saying this, but it was as smooth as anything like the Game Awards or anything like that. The way it's very slick, straight into the next thing, next person on the stage, blah, 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 cue the next thing. Then they show some videos. Next person's on stage ready to talk. Boom.
Hang on. Yeah. Do you seem to forget that I actually gave Jeff Keighley credit last time we spoke about it?
No. Yeah, but for the Summer Games Fest, yes, but about the Game Awards. So
the Game Awards, admittedly, yes, everything is smooth running when it comes to the Game Awards. This is probably the only positive I have about that show. Until someone gives an 8-minute speech.
Yeah, I know, which luckily didn't happen this time at the thing. Everything seemed to be on point, and they got a number of content creators on. They did their bit, they were off, people applause, straight on to the next bit.
Right, that's your 2 minutes about AV, off you go.
Cool, nice, cheers.
I'm joking.
But the only thing we said is because that ran late, we had other seminars that we wanted to go to. And it was like, we need to leave, otherwise we're going to miss this. And the funny thing is, 5 minutes before we're about to leave, they bring on the head guy of Twitch, who's about to unveil all the new things that are coming, and we had to go, shit, we need to leave this. Right, I've just sworn.
No, you're fine. Yeah. You get one. Everyone gets one.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, we'll have to miss this. But luckily, throughout the other seminars, they kind of leaned into that and said, this is what's been announced.
Okay, right. Well, I now need to ask a question because you brought it up. What are some of the new features that are coming to Twitch in the future? Okay, so one of them I already kind of got a sneak peek the week before we went to TwitchCon, which is the new power-ups feature, which is basically...
Which Danker has used.
Danker's used and a number of other people have used. Yeah. They've basically rolled out as a test thing a new set of channel points, which every Twitch streamer has. They can't be turned off, but instead of people using channel points, they use bits and money to redeem them. So it's another way for you to make money. I mean, mine. I had mine running the week before we went, and I think they're set at like 30 pence, 40 pence, and 50 pence. That's the equivalent.
Okay.
And it's just silly little things like highlight my message, but with a nice swirly banner.
Oh, yeah. I have seen this now.
Identify my emote, so the emote takes over the whole chat and other things. But they're going to roll out lots more of these. So they'll be mixed in with the channel points. So there's going to be some things that you just use your channel points and some things you can use bits. And they want to roll it out because they're saying, well, not everyone wants to spend 1,000 bits. Not everyone wants to spend on a sub. But if people want to donate 20 pence here, 30 pence here, it's a good little way for content creators to still earn money.
Yeah, it does make sense, I guess.
So I thought that was cool. They leaned really heavily into the new Twitch app. That was the big thing. And they're massively changing how the Twitch app is on mobile phone, which rolls out at the end of August.
So what's changing with the app then?
So at the moment, the app works like a desktop thing. You get recommended people, and most of the people that are recommended are done by your choice of sort of games and stuff that you do, or you get some of the biggest streamers on the front page, right? They want to make it so that whether you've got a person that streams and has one viewer, or a person that has been streaming for 10 years and has 1 million viewers, that you're at equal footing. So now, with the app, based on the information you give the app, you go in, and it's almost like a dating app, as silly as this sounds, because you will turn it on and there'll be a random streamer that you have never seen before. And you can choose to watch them for 30 seconds or not. And if you click on it, you can go into their stream and watch. But it doesn't give you any other recommended content.
Okay.
If you don't like it, you swipe right and get rid of them, and it brings up another random one that fits in with your criteria. So it's almost like a dating app swipe.
So it's Tinder for streamers, basically.
It's Tinder for streamers. But it means that rather than going, here's all the recommended people at the top end that have got the most viewers.
That Twitch have paid multi-million-pound contracts to.
Now it's going, we're suiting it to your needs.
Yeah.
So we might introduce you to someone who's a small streamer, but you might love them. And I was like, that's really cool.
That's actually a better system, to be honest, because it works better within the algorithm that way, based on what you want to watch. But carry on, Kylie.
I did ask in one of the panels.
Yeah.
That does that work if you're not an affiliate? And they said not quite. You have to be an affiliate. Yeah.
So you might be a small streamer and not hit affiliate yet, and you're not going to be recommended within this system.
Sadly.
But I get why they do that, because there is
motivation.
It's more and it's a verified account technically at that respect as well.
A lot of people that set up accounts and then get to a point and then just dump it and then don't bother doing anything with it.
That's me.
Yeah. So, as Kylie says, it's a good way to say, look, here's a little bonus, because if you do this, you could potentially be recognised. Now, the desktop's not changing. The desktop's staying as it is, which in some ways is a good thing, because with my involvement with these other Twitch events that I'm doing, I'm glad they didn't change it, because it would scupper the whole point of us doing these things on the front page of Twitch. But they leaned heavily into the app. And then there's a few other little bits and pieces and tweaks that they're doing and rolling out over the course of the next 6 months. And there was other things that kind of were not new, but they were kind of saying, we are changing up a few things and how this works. Like the whole stream manager thing has already started to be changed.
I have noticed it.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to use and has better stats and better recommendations and will help people find your channel. The whole focus seemed to be, let's try and get more people to find your channel.
And they concentrated on short form content offline.
Oh, God.
I know.
This is the problem. Shorts seem to be taking over everywhere. YouTube's done it. TikTok's done it, obviously.
Yeah.
But
that's not what Twitch is necessarily for, is it?
I personally agree, but we went to a couple of panels, and it's inevitable that is the way it's going. Yeah. So we have
because
to learn.
kids don't have an attention span beyond a minute.
I mean, I don't either, but but also, it's coming, and we have to learn to adapt and use it.
Sure.
Which is what we learned.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? So they basically took a leaf out of Insta, right? They basically admitted that. They
Yeah,
basically said
they did.
when you've got the app, all content creators, so including yourselves, Pete and Kylie, you could actually put a story up that says Rapid Reviews is going live at 7 p.m. tonight, like you would do on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you're now going to be able to do that on the Twitch app. So it's another way for me to advertise and other streamers to advertise. So I would use that because I'd be like,
can't
boom.
disagree with that.
It is exactly what Dankers actually just said in chat.
So it's almost like, it's not like a YouTube short. Let's get that very clear. It is a short, sharp 30-second thing that you can either do to either entice people to your channel by using a clip, so almost like a TikTok style thing, or an Instagram thing saying, hey, I'm on at such and such tonight, check this out.
Sure.
I quite like that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I do get that you say it's attention span, but again, it's something that people might see. And they said they did this is the fact that, again, people are not going to sit there for 30 minutes and make a judgment on stuff. People are going to be like, oh, this is snappy. I'll go have a look at this now.
Yeah, I agree. I do have one question though, because I think this is one of the things that Twitch does need to address with the fact that there are rival platforms out there. Yeah. Did they talk about monetization splits and revenue changes?
They did, and Max can talk about the Twitch Plus program.
Okay. So this is something that they had already started to roll out well before Christmas. I think it was October, but has not been massively publicised. And I'll be honest, I did look at it and then I forgot about it. And they hammered the fact that, when you become a partner, you can normally negotiate your rate or get a better rate than the 50-50. But they feel that there's been a number of content creators that have made partner is not important to them, or the fact that they have never really wanted to hit partner, or they're just under that threshold, so they're not going to make partner, but they're happy doing what they're doing. So they've said they've basically come up with the Plus program, which states that if you can get a certain amount of subs over the course of a month and maintain that over 3 months, the share goes in the streamer's favour. So they've come up with this point system. As I say, this isn't new news, but they were basically reiterating it because they kind of launched it and everyone just kind of went, oh, okay.
Yeah, but for someone who's not really paid attention to that sort of thing, it's nice to actually know that they have discussed it because, look, let's be honest, there are other platforms out there like, let's mention them, Kick and Rumble that are obviously doing a better revenue split. So to try and entice people in, they need to do something to try and make sure that there is a better share for the content creators.
I have two options open to me as not being a partner, and that is I can get 100 subs, set a goal for 100 subs and get that for the next 3 months and get that. And if I do that and maintain that, I will then get a 60-40 split.
That's a bit better, at least.
Right, okay. If I go to a higher level and I can get up to something like 300 subs, they will give me a 70-30 split.
So essentially what they've now done by introducing the subsystem is they've taken the revenue split down to what it was pretty much before they changed that.
It's all done on a point system.
Okay.
So basically, if you get a one sub, standard sub, tier 1 sub, it's 1 point. So you'd need 100 of those subs to get that, right?
Sure.
If you've got tier 2 subs, you'd only need 50 because it's 2 points. But if you get tier 3 subs are worth 6 points. So forgive my maths, but
that's triple the amount that you would for a tier 2.
So you don't need as many. So you could actually get a load of tier 3 subs and actually be getting the 60-40 split a lot quicker.
Okay.
So they've done it in that way, but I've based it on the fact that most of and they acknowledged this, they went, most people do tier 1 subs. They know that. And they said that. So they said your best point is saying that you're going to get 1 point per thing. You need 100 subs to get this thing. So that's what I'm gearing for now.
Okay.
I quite like that. I thought it was perfectly cool.
It works a little bit better. So my next question is going to be about, did they happen to discuss in any of the panels or through Twitch partners, of course, about dual streaming or multi-streaming on other platforms?
I don't remember them talking about that at all. Max,
There was probably seminars that discussed it, but it was not any of the ones that we're in. Bear in mind that I'm going to state this: there was probably more than 50 seminars a day running.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not to be expected that you're not going to catch every single last one.
Yeah. So not in any. We attended the opening ceremony, 2 other seminars, and a open discussion, which I thought was quite good. An open table discussion, which was all to do with branding, and they had people that dealt with branding.
Okay.
Which was cool. And then the next day, we attended a networking thing, because there was networking things.
Yes.
Plus there was obviously stages with other entertainment on and competitions and stuff. So there was so much stuff on, it was ridiculous. But then we also attended another 2 seminars on the Sunday, but also another thing that was run by a friend of mine.
Yes, which was great.
That was again sort of another, I wouldn't say an open table discussion like the thing run by Twitch, but that was run by a lot of content creators, where you say, what is the best practices, and do we agree with this or do we not? And they ran around with mics and questions and threw it out to the panel. I thought that was a great idea, because it was a great idea to get your opinions on it, because some people agreed with the stuff, saying, oh yeah, is it okay to mention your stream in someone else's stream?
Yeah.
And they're going, well, yes, if you do it like this, but no, if you're doing it like that. And it's funny how it polarised opinions, but you kind of got better opinions from people. And it brought up quite.
Sorry, can you give me an example about that? Because I'm not sure what people might mean with that.
I actually had to ask. I had to ask Mags several etiquette questions after this. He had to give me a lesson on streaming etiquette. Etiquette, yes.
Yeah. So basically, they put the question as like, is it okay to self-promote in someone else's stream?
Yeah.
And of course, most of the audience went, no, you don't do that. Now, if anyone doesn't know what self-promoting is, say I've never seen Rapid Reviews before, and I tune in and go, hi, how's it going? I stream, by the way. I'm on at 9 o'clock tonight.
Oh, yeah, okay, I get
right.
it.
That is not on, right?
It's a big no-no.
It's a big no-no. However, if the content creator says to you, oh, how are you doing, such and such, what you been up to, and you might go, oh, I was streaming earlier, and they might go, what were you streaming? So they said, be led by the streamer's comment. Because also, it's the fact that then, if you build up, as they say, there's a natural process here, and see it in a lot of streams where once you get to know people, and just like for example your channel, right? So whenever you guys,
well, actually, hang on. Let's just say, from your stream's perspective, you have a lot of content creators that come in. Yeah.
So I have a lot of content creators come in. If there's someone that we had someone recently literally just come in and tried to promote their channel. I think when I was doing Still Awakes the Deep, they went, oh yeah, I played this game, it's great, it's really easy. Oh, by the way, I did it on my show, boom, they were banned, get out of town. However, you guys and numerous other people in chat, right, that you get to know in the community over time, I will immediately go, when's your next stream? Promote it. I'll say to Jesse, oh, when's your next Newton Nuggets? Now, I know that's not a Twitch stream, but I'll go blah, blah, blah. And we shout them out. So it's the point of what's the difference between when it's bad self-promoting to the point where you've cemented yourself in that community.
Yeah,
that it's okay for that streamer to then shout you out without you going, oh, look at me, I'm on in half an hour and all that.
Yeah, it's basically trying to pull viewers away from your viewership, essentially, to do that.
Yeah.
And tangentially related to that, also included, this was a completely new concept to me, and I had to get Max to explain it to me. I wrote in my notes, getting Max to explain. But I did not know that it was proper etiquette to use other people's emotes.
Yes.
In stream. That was a whole section that they approached. I never even thought of that. It was just like,
if you go into someone else's channel and are spamming emotes from another channel or using emotes from another channel, and have not been like requested, it's again classed as self-promotion and is frowned upon.
Yeah, I get that.
Whereas if it's part of a raid, if it's part of, hey, let's go emote only, I want to see everything, it's very different now. Some people were kind of like, but we get all those free emotes from Hype Train and stuff. Yeah, because they're official Twitch emotes, so you can do what you want with them. But if you've got, say, a certain streamer with an emote and it's got their name on it and you're plastering that in someone else's channel, that's frowned upon.
Okay.
So there was a whole sort of, and it's funny because then people were like, this is what I'm saying, it was splitting the crowd because people were saying, well, surely we can use emotes. But like, yeah, but let's tell you when you're supposed to do it and when you're not supposed to do it. And of course, people are going, okay. And it was a very well planned session. So a big shout out to Dan for who ran that session.
Awkward. His name is Awkward.
A bit awkward. Yeah.
Awesome.
Bless him. And he's still unwell since he got.
Oh no! So that is something that we definitely need to talk about.
Oh, the con crud
Two
flu.
aspects.
Yeah.
Two things actually. I was gonna say, and then that came up. There was one panel that we missed. There's a reason we missed it, but I'll save that for next. But, yeah. So apparently, a lot of people. Definitely not us. I don't think some of the people we knew. Anyway, they came down with norovirus.
Oh, Christ.
Actually, it was quite a few that we met that did. So we were lucky.
We were very lucky. I do say, I was joking, I think, with Jesse and your stream about how, like, Mags and I are both very, very, like, hand washers, almost obsessively. Like, anytime we're near a bathroom or a fountain or whatever, it's just like, time. That might have saved us. I don't know. All I know is, so I'll start with the food. There were several food trucks within the Ahoy Center.
Yeah.
We kind of stuck to the kind of outliers, mostly because obviously my diet's very limited, sadly, because I can't eat a lot of stuff. But I did eat some things I was not supposed to eat, like ice cream. But what I noticed about the ice cream place, I don't know if you noticed, but one of the girls like climbed under and she got like this thing of dirty water, and went and poured it out. I was like, I'm not sure.
Is that what was spilt and that poor guy?
Yes.
I didn't see that. So there was this poor guy, and he stood there for like 20 minutes mopping all this shit.
Yeah. Like he couldn't get it mopped up because it was basically continuously pouring out
of the cabin or whatever it was.
And so I was like, I still ate the ice cream from there. I'm not gonna lie, because I never get to eat ice cream. It was okay. It wasn't as good as the zoo, but it was okay. And then, so like I said, we kind of stuck. We didn't actually eat very much there. We ate in other places, which is probably good.
It was your typical. It was very overpriced food and drink.
Typical for any convention, really.
Any convention.
We have pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't hold it against them or TwitchCon for the prices. Sure. It's funny because it seems to be a standard fare at any event.
Yes.
Really. But it's funny because it was mentioned that a lot of people thought they got food poisoning before it turned out it was norovirus, and they were blaming the hot dog stand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, ironically, I had one of the hot dogs from the hot dog stand.
And you were fine.
I was fine. It cost €8.50 for a hot dog, which was overpriced but was actually good. But saying compared to Insomnia, where I paid £10 for a hot dog that was stone cold and horrible.
Bearing in mind that I've been to Wembley Arena and I paid about £10 for a hot dog there that was bang average as well. So.
Well, Mags was definitely telling me all about the Insomnia hot dogs.
Yes, Jesse. Good shout. We'll talk about that in a bit.
We'll talk about it in a bit, yeah.
For sure.
Well, yeah, because I want to start wrapping. I want to start wrapping the TwitchCon stuff up soon. Okay. So we've obviously got time to talk about that.
Okay. Well, so what I was saying about the food is we didn't actually eat much there.
Right, that's true.
We actually ate in the mall mostly.
Sure.
Which was next door. Maybe that saved us. I don't know, because we still shook lots of hands.
Yeah, and Dan being one of them, and he's
exactly.
And I hugged him about two. In fact, he was the person I saw the most the whole weekend. We
Yes,
made a
he
running
was.
joke that we kept bumping into him every 15 minutes.
We
Yeah.
even bumped into him at an outside eatery.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Nothing to do with TwitchCon.
And then we walked in on the first day in a queue, and then he went in because he was one of the official guests. And as we walked in, we then bumped into each other again through different entrances.
Yeah.
But it's funny that I saw him the most, but he's come down with it, and he's quite. I think as of yesterday, I saw he was still quite ill.
Oof.
Oh,
Oof.
hits people differently though, doesn't it? I've known plenty of people who've had neurovirus before, and it's horrendous.
It's very, very communicable. It's very easy to catch. And we were at the UK meetup.
Yeah.
Again,
There's a number of people got it that we saw.
yeah. I'm not a touchy person, so I didn't really interact with too many folks. Touchy. But Mags is a touchy person.
I was bugging people, shaking hands and that,
Yes, he was.
a few of them that got it. And I'm
And it was fine. So I don't know. I attribute that to my very lucky self. And then, yeah, exactly. Danker says, yes, I know, working in a school during winter. Yeah, exactly. So we were very fortunate. But, Pete, now here's a story for you.
Go on.
Oh, yeah.
It also shows a little bit how silly I am. And also how lucky I am.
Oh, also, to add on as well, how good the people are there.
Yes, which is ultimately the whole point of what I'm about to talk about. Oh, Brent says it's my biggest concern when cruising. Norovirus. Yes, I've heard that is huge on cruise ships. More so than sinking, medical emergency, or COVID. Yes, again, that's what I've heard. So, Mags and I found the retro arcade area.
Nice.
Simply, a few of the machines were out of commission.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Again,
it's always
we'll
the way
talk
when
about,
look,
yeah.
it's the way when it comes to retro gaming areas, because not all machines are maintained particularly well.
Unlike Timeless.
I was going to say, except for
yes.
Timeless, which we
Well,
were talking about.
it's almost like Timeless is a specific arcade that is dedicated
Yes.
towards that.
It's almost like they've got amazing staff that make sure all the machines are working at all times.
And one of a very few, a select handful of people that actually know how to deal with, maintaining cabinets, including one of the guys in Heart of Gaming down in the south.
Very good. So, we found this. It was a great area. Like, we were both just like, holy crap. I mean, it was all the arcade cabinets I know that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Mags and I are very similar ages. So, yeah, that's just like, it was like the real deal. In fact, I think I saw Galaga right off the bat. Yeah. And, Mags, what was your first one? I forget what the first one was.
Oh, God.
I can't remember what the first one was.
I don't think what it was. But it was
because it wasn't Outrun. Outrun was later.
Yeah, Outrun was later.
Oh, did they have the Outrun cabinet?
They had Outrun.
Yeah.
They had the actual Outrun.
The one that moves and everything.
Well, the one with the steering wheel, the one that.
Yeah, I mean when you sit in it, actually like.
No,
moves.
It's not the sitting one.
Oh,
no, the
man,
standing one.
Oh no, the sitting one is the best version. Oh, they're fantastic.
I do freaking love Outrun. But anyway, yeah, Max was playing something I cannot remember. I don't know why I can't remember. But I was playing Galaga. I was annoyed because the button wasn't moving fast enough. I'm really good at Galaga, so I was annoyed at that. But anyway, noticed it, saw it was great, set my phone down. I was like, oh, this is great. And then we moved over to Bubble Puzzle. Puzzle Bobble.
Puzzle Bobble.
Yeah,
I love Bubble Bobble, but Puzzle Bobble.
Puzzle Bobble is fantastic.
Yeah, Max beat the crap out of me because I didn't realize that every time he made a match, I got his dadgum bubbles on my side. It took me like 6 rounds to figure out that's what was happening. So he kicked my ass several times. And it was amazing. I think I won 1 round, and I think that's because he was distracted. Yeah, but then from there, that's when he went to Outrun, and I went to G-Lock, I think is what it's called. But the one with the stick, which I freaking loved as a kid, and I just went to town because, obviously you don't need quarters for this one, or whatever you guys used in the UK. We used quarters. I don't know what you guys use. What, pounds?
Well, it depends on, obviously, how old the game is.
I guess 50p's? I don't know.
50p or a pound or whatever.
So I was like loving it, having the time of my life. Anyway, and then of course, obviously, I was like, okay, I'm done. because I have a short attention span.
course.
And then Max goes, and Pete, you'll love this. He turns around and goes, "Oh, this is free." It was Cadillac and Dinosaurs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
One of the greatest side-scrolling beat 'em ups that Capcom has ever produced.
You are not wrong. We sat down on that. Now, we had a panel to go to like half an hour, maybe, after we started playing.
No, you missed it.
We fucking missed that panel.
we were on Cadillacs and Dinosaurs for 45 minutes and completed the whole thing.
That is no mean feat as well. That's not an easy game to complete.
No, it's not. And so, but here's the thing. Here's the kicker of all of this. We were on maybe next to the last level. We were really like freaking kicking butt. It was like we were so like and then a thought popped in my head because I have ADHD, and I went, "Oh, where's my phone?"
What?
The phone that I had left on the Gallagher cabinet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, not a joke.
Christ.
I was like, "My phone!" And Max is like, he's like, beating people up and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, "Okay, keep playing. I'll be right back."
Yeah, she wouldn't let me stop playing the game because I said we should need to go. You find a phone. She was like, "No, you keep playing. We're going to finish this."
No, we're going to finish the game. We're seeing end credit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, Pete. So I got up. I ran around to Gallagher. It was not there. I was like, freaking heck. I felt on the top, looked up. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then I was like, I need to finish Gallagher. I was like, the phone can wait. I need to finish this game. And so I ran back over to Max and I was like, let's finish the game. It's like, and he's like, are you sure? It's like, yes. This is more important right now. That's all I can think about. So we played another probably 20, 25 minutes. And we beat the game.
Nice. And did you find your phone?
Wait, well, we sat through the credits. Now, Pete, before we continue with this story, as you know Capcom games very well.
Well enough, I guess.
Well, what we found was it ended on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
Is there a Dinosaurs and Cadillacs and Dinosaurs Part 2?
I don't believe so, but it might be one of those. It might be one of those things actually, like Ghosts and Goblins, where it's like, oh, play this again, and you get slightly harder playthrough to then get the true ending.
Yeah,
it could be like that. Okay.
Yeah,
it could be. So we sat through, watched the credits and everything.
Danker's gonna check. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And that's when I finally said, okay, holy crap, I need to find my phone. So I got Max to ring it a couple of times. It wasn't ringing. It wasn't answering. I had the freaking ringer turned off anyway because we were in panels.
I mean, that's normal for you anyway.
I mean, yeah. Poor Max got to see that outside of him, that's it.
Yep.
He talks to me. That's it. So I had the ringer turned off. And so then I still wasn't like panicking, but it still was like, okay, crap.
You were still a bit like, oh, yeah.
Ooh, my phone has my tickets to everything on it, my money, because I don't take cards with me. I use my phone.
It's all on there, isn't it? Because you were tapping everything when you met up in London. So exactly.
So,
all your boarding passes and everything would have been on there too.
Everything. And so I was a little bit panicked, and I was like, anyone could have taken that. Anyone. I'm in a foreign country. I'm in a venue that probably has 2,000 plus people in it. I'm sure. Way more than that.
More than that, for sure.
And we were at that game for sure about an hour, if not an hour and a half, because we missed the entire panel. So Max was like, all right, let's go ask information.
Yeah, sorry, Danker did say that there was a planned sequel, but it was cancelled.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, let me say before I continue this story, that is a great game. I enjoyed it very much. It feels a lot like Turtles, the Manhattan Project. It's very similar to that.
Very, very similar. In fact, I'm going to go and have a look at something quickly just to see. So
you do that. So Max was like, let's go check information. We went to information. And the girl, who is definitely Dutch, she was like, well, what's your phone look like? And I was like, well, it's black and it's a Samsung. And she's like, well, does it have a case on it? Like, I think so, yes, it has a case on it. It's black. And she's like, what's it look like? And she was holding my phone up. And I was like, that's it, that's the phone. She's like, no, you gotta tell me what it says on the back. I don't have a clue. I don't know that much. I don't even like my phone. It's not my phone. I don't care. And so she was like, she started to figure out that I just don't know. And she let me put the thumbprint on it. Boom. There was my home screen. And she was like, there you go. People, the Dutch, because I am going to say it's them, amazing, amazing, amazing people. Yep. Someone turned my phone in and they did it almost immediately. And I'm just stunned because even I love Ireland. That wouldn't happen in Ireland. It sure as heck wouldn't happen in Texas.
It sure as hell wouldn't happen here either.
So
yeah, that would have been pawned for parts over here.
Exactly. Same thing here. I have only the utmost just respect and in fact I met one of Mags's friends who is Dutch before I even got finished with the story. I didn't even get finished with the story and he's like, that's my people.
Yeah.
That's how we do.
Yeah. And it's also, I'm going to say this, it's not just the Dutch and stuff as well, because I'd say it's basically the mentality of the people that went to the event, because we found that everyone was very easy going, very sort of, if you bumped into someone, sorry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and
exactly.
It's like everyone was, and it was kind of like, so this is what Twitch people are like. They're all very friendly, all very...
Like Jesse says.
Courteous. Yeah. Whereas I think if you went to an event, say if you went to any other big event in the UK, I'm not going to mention names, you put your phone on the retro arcade, that'd be gone. You'd never see it again because they'll just nick it and steal it. So I just think that's a big sentiment to the people that attended the event as well as the people that ran the event.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, just to 100%. Confirm, I was having a look to see whether or not Cadillacs and Dinosaurs ever got a re-release or was part of any arcade collection that Capcom's released recently. No.
Oh, wow. It was a great game.
It's a fantastic game, but it's been stuck since the Sega CD.
Wow.
Since released in 93 and then got re-released in 94 for the Sega CD.
Well, it was so good that Max and I missed the last panel for it.
Excellent. Right, so
I also didn't care about my lost phone.
Also,
but
right,
yes,
shall we
let's
wrap up TwitchCon. So Kylie, start off with you, give you your final thoughts about the event itself and
okay, I'll be very, very brief. And that is cool. Danker says I've done further research. Yeah, it has an alternative title, Xenozoic Tales. I like Cadillac and Dinosaurs better. Because you do drive a Cadillac in it. Anyway, not my point. So, I absolutely adored TwitchCon from badge pickup to, going and picking up my phone at the info desk. Because after that, we walked around just to see, oh my gosh, we got to the door and one of the guys just kept giving me free stuff. He just handed it to me, which I then handed to Madison and said, here.
Which we're now going to give away at Timeless. Though, right?
Yeah, exactly. He just shoved it in my hand. I was like, okay, here. But at no point with the people involved with TwitchCon did I ever feel put off or no one was rude. The only, and this is such a minor thing, they had a little bit of time issue. We did have to miss the opening day ceremony. And our first panel, one of the speakers also had to miss because she was in the opening ceremony as well. So there's a little bit of a time issue there. Outside of that, everything was on point. They had a music stage, a live music stage, which was full of talented people. Holy crap. The guitarist/saxophonist.
Yeah.
Which you can... Yeah, and you can see that in some of Mags's video on his Insta and Facebook. Go check that out. I'm not kidding. That guy is freaking talented as AF. They had live music. They had good food. The what we would say in Ireland, the crack was great, which means just the whole vibe was wonderful. I would say that if you could only attend one day, I would pick Sunday because everything was more available. The Wi-Fi was more available. The app was more available. There was an app, by the way, that you could schedule things with. The lines were shorter. You had more access to things that you wouldn't normally have. Mags and I got the last merch at a few stands, free merch. And it was just, I don't know. Overall, I cannot fault it. I think I'm going to agree with Mags and say it is one of the best run conventions I've ever been to in my life.
Okay.
And I have been to a few. I did not have one negative experience having to do with Twitch itself, TwitchCon itself.
Okay.
So I will leave the floor to Mags.
Yeah. Nice. Very good.
I very much
Yes, Jesse.
Yeah. Was it expensive to buy tickets? What, for the actual event itself? It's £150 for a 2-day ticket.
Jeez.
Yes, but it was worth it. But
Yeah, of course.
Right, but I'm going to state this. There's a lot of stuff we haven't talked about.
Yes.
So they've got this big main stage that had stuff on from 10 till 6 all day. They had another big main stage, which we didn't even bother go and see. With stuff
we never saw it.
Apparently there was a drag race competition at one point. You know, they were doing like a RuPaul thing. They had a whole meet and greet area that you could meet like some big Twitch name stars and sign autographs.
Yep.
On top of the
And workshops.
8 other stages upstairs with all the seminars and stuff going from 10 till 6. They had the live music stage, a DJ stage, and then you had the main expo hall, which we didn't even talk about. You had an area full of artists and people who made stuff.
Yes.
That you could buy. They had a lot of new games that are coming out, stuff like
yeah.
The new they were showcasing the new season of the finals. They had new farming simulator game, and there was a number of other indie games and big name games that were due to come out, which you could go and play. There was a number of experiences you could go and do and get involved in. They had a whole area for Lego building, a whole chess area, which I've never known competitive chess to be so crazily busy.
Yep.
But it was.
It's mental, honestly.
And
chocolate. They had chocolate making.
Chocolate making. They had
which we didn't get to.
Area just for big arena esports competitions.
Huge.
Sponsored by Target.
Tabletop.
Yeah, and then a tabletop area, and then also an area where they had all the companies such as Shure, Yamaha, Streamlabs, Stream Elements that you could basically go up to, speak, and not only get free stuff but get involved in. But also, I wanted to pick a bone with a certain company because I felt they were doing it. And I went and spoke to one of their reps, and not only did they give us a load of free merch, which was nice of them, but I said, I've been having this problem with your piece of software. Can you explain it? And she was like, I'll look into it, and went into my account, and she was like, I can't explain why that's been happening, but we will look into it. And weirdly, after I got back, I started getting the things that I should have been getting.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so they had direct access.
Yeah.
Which
so I was
good.
like, wow, okay, so just by speaking to some people on their stand, they seem to have sorted the problem for me.
Fair enough.
So I was like, yeah.
I do what Jesse says, which is, so my only thing is, I know they invited a lot of musicians to play on the stage, and they did.
Yeah.
And they were expected to not only do it for free, but transport instruments, etc., at their own cost. I did wonder about the instrument.
Okay, right. You guys carry on. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay, let me state this. Certain acts that were booked to be paid and stuff and perform were covered. But there was this one music stage where it was basically a free-for-all, where they invited people up on the stage, and that is probably the one that Jesse is talking about, because the last big thing at the end was just a load of musicians who were jamming, and they just got people up to sing different songs and perform. So one, they're probably not going to get paid, and two, they've got to transport their instruments. So I would say that, but we did see other people that were performing that were getting paid, and not just on the certain stages and the main stages, but also on some of the certain stands. Like Yamaha had different musicians performing with all the equipment by Yamaha. So I get it if you were just going to turn up to like the free for all stage, as they called it. then you wouldn't get paid, because that's the point. It was like turning up to an open mic night. That's the best way to describe it.
Which, again, go check those out on Mags's various social channels, and you can also hear me singing Country
Roads, yeah. We're singing Country Roads, which is quite funny.
Yeah, I'm blurring that out. But that was fun. That was a great way to end
it was a nice way to fit it. And none of the security were over pushy. I was at an event. It was an event, I won't say where it was, locally to me. And the security were trying to shut down the event half an hour before. And apparently there was an issue the day before. And I had some colleagues and friends about it, and they said like they nearly shut it down an hour before and trying to push people out the door. Whereas we found that this was like, this finishes at 6. And they easily, gently push, like not push people out, but like they started to close things down at the time it was supposed to close. And they moved it, like, people into certain areas, and this band thing was going on later. Didn't shut it down. They were like, no, let them enjoy it, and then we'll go. And it was just all done in a very friendly manner, which makes me laugh, because again, you go to an event in certain events in London, and you're like, oh, you've got half an hour till the event goes. No, you're not coming back in. You're allowed to come back in. It says on the tickets, and they're like, we don't care.
Well,
had that at certain events. Will was actually working on one of the stands at a certain event, and he went to the toilet, and then they wouldn't let him back in, and he was like, yeah, but all my bags and stuff are there, and
that's not cool.
Which is it's ridiculous, but so they seem to be a lot more. But I think again that's because the security measures were so high, because no backpacks were allowed, none of that stuff was allowed. So that was why they were very more relaxed in, okay, the event's finishing, take your time to meander out, not shoving you out. But
I did like that very much, because yes, I mean, at WASD I know that they had a job to do, but we were kind of pushed out 30 minutes before.
That first day particularly was quite bad, wasn't it?
Oh, close it down. Yeah, I had to, in the middle of our podcast, I had to say, oh, we're getting the signal to close it down, but it was 30 minutes before. Whereas with TwitchCon, I didn't feel that pressure. They were still just like, do
you think that's more of a Dutch sensibility, because they're very relaxed generally anyway?
I think so. I mean, I can only say that I met Max's friend, and then the few people at the TwitchCon, and I guess the people at the hotel. They seem very laid back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
I will say, Jesse did say, and then, yes, we'll move on to Timeless. No, I know a musician who is invited to perform at a music stage, and we're not being paid for it. Now, that is a very interesting take.
Interesting.
For a slot, not paid for all.
See, that's interesting. That surprises me.
Yeah. I
know that certain musicians were paid, so I wonder what on earth happened there then.
Yeah, I'm curious, too, because I don't know. Again, we don't know what the people on the panels were compensated with. Maybe it was free tickets or whatever. But it seemed pretty like people were happy to be there. Maybe I'm kind of projecting my own thing there. I don't know. I just didn't get any kind of like negative feedback at the time. Which, maybe afterwards people have thought about it and went, oh, well, this was crap. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, the only minor negatives, and again, it doesn't really come down to the actual event itself, where, yes, the food was overly priced. I have to say they took the mick with some of the hot drinks, as Kiley discovered. So Kiley was like, let me get you a cup of tea, because we'd just come out of the thing. And then she got this thing, which cup is about that big.
That's
we're
ridiculous.
Talking about, those things that you put like some pills in and swallow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like a dentist to rinse your mouth
out.
And it was that size, right, of tea, and it was €4.50.
That's a joke. And was it at least decent tea, though?
It was passable.
So not even good.
We'll leave that up to him, but...
Kiley went back and said, he said, oh, but if you keep the cup, we'll knock €1 off. But then they didn't.
They didn't! So I still paid
$4.50 Still stupid.
$4.50 for this tea and £4 for my dadgum cappuccino. That's what I got.
So food and drink prices were sky high. Internet at the venue wasn't working very well on the first day, but was fine on the second day, which did mean that the app suffered. Now everything is on the app.
Yeah.
So you book your appointments, you book where you're going to, you book your seminars, you can book meetings with other content creators and streamers. And if the Wi-Fi is down and you can't use the app, you are screwed. And we got to a point where we're like, can we remember where we need to go? Because
luckily we planned. I will say this: Max and I are both very strict pre-planners. We had everything planned down to the last second.
Yeah.
Not everybody's like that. That is a special breed of people. So if we hadn't done that ourselves, we would not have known what was coming up, where we needed to be, what time it was. And I would say that most people are not like us. Yeah. So they were probably left wandering around. So yes, on the feedback form, I think Max and I both put the app sucked. The app sucked? It just did.
Yeah, but then on Sunday it worked absolutely fine. It was great.
Then some of that is obviously down to the amount of people that are in a venue all trying to clog up the Wi-Fi and all that. So it does happen.
But it happens. But I'm going to say this now. Despite those little things, I have been to a lot of events. I'm still going to say this, hands down, this was one of the best organised gaming events I've ever been to in my life.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Despite the little thing with the main stage running late and then it affecting the first talk that we went to see where the guy said, well, I've got a panel of 3, but it's only a panel of 2 because she's still on the main stage, so you won't get here. Everything else was bang on time when it was supposed to be and ran as slick as it's supposed to be. And all the staff knew exactly what was going on and how to be. There was no one that you'd go up to and go, oh, where'd you do this? And they'd be like, oh, I don't know, like most
and the layout and the map or the signage to get you there was spot on.
So I wholeheartedly recommend it. For people who want to go to the one in America, it's in San Diego in September, and then they have announced that they've got a contract for 3 years with the Netherlands, and they've already stated it will be back at the Ahoy Centre back in June next year. Dates pending. But allegedly, it's either for 2026 will either be at Ahoy or go back to Amsterdam. Okay. But we're waiting to hear about that. But it will stay in the Netherlands for the next 2 years.
Nice. Yep. But speaking about other well-organised events, let's talk Timeless.
Go on then.
So we won't go massively into detail because I think that TwitchCon went
me questions,
a hell of a lot. Well, we've got Mags here, one of the main organisers of the event. We probably should talk to him about this. I'm fully aware of that, but we can ask you the questions. We get a direct response.
Okay, go on then.
I'm going to mirror Jesse. What the heck is Timeless?
Okay.
You haven't been listening to our show if you don't know what it is by now.
Yeah, if you haven't listened for the last year, Timeless Gaming Convention is now in its 3rd year. Will be taking place on the 14th of August at Europe's largest arcade and voted 2nd best arcade in England. Really should have been the first.
What came first? I
don't actually know. I tried to look that up and find it, but it's still Europe's largest best arcade, and that's the best thing, which is Arcade Club in Bury in Greater Manchester. We basically take over the whole venue for a day, and not only does it mean you get access to all 4 floors of over 400 machines, not only retro, but also the latest arcade machines, Xboxes, Nintendo Switches to play. There might even be some PlayStations this year, they've hinted at, this year. Plus pool tables, pinball machines, basketball hoops, air hockey, and lots of other 4D gaming experiences and other things across the 4 floors. You can play all of them for up to 11 hours, absolutely free. But on top of that, we have exhibitors. We have got a total of 18 exhibitors confirmed so far this year, where you can buy anything from gamer clothing to gamer peripherals like headsets, keyboards, gaming equipment, gaming PCs, which we will give you a little sneak preview for something that we haven't announced yet, so you get an exclusive, Pete and Kylie.
Me. Perfect.
We have got Funko Pops, D&D gaming, everything from Pokemon to Warhammer, and gaming magazines that you can buy. We've got returning two things that have worked really well past couple of years. Our tabletop gaming area with our friends at Geek Retreat. So you can play the latest tabletop games and try them out before you buy.
Nice.
And we've got our bigger and better indie game area run by our friends at Debug Magazine.
Hey.
Who are going to have
Former guests. We've had them as guests.
18 indie games that you can play at the show, of which some have not been at any other show
Ooh.
at all. So we've got some exclusive games that have not been at any shows at all, which we're quite proud of. We'll be unveiling them in the next couple of weeks. On top of that, for the first time ever, we have now got 2 stages. We are going bigger and better. We have got on the second floor the Sneak Challenge stage, because Sneak are one of our headline partners. And we're very thankful to them there. So we're going to be giving lots away Sneak goodies, everybody. But you'll be able to play anything from Tekken 8 to Tomb Raider to Mario Kart to Cuphead to the wonderful indie game Bullion to Just Dance 2024 with official Ubisoft creators who feature in the game amongst other competitions that we haven't announced, and win a shed load of prizes. And we have got more prizes than we've ever given away before. And these vary from Twitch merch, actual Sneak stuff. We've got special mice from one of the companies that we've got, which I'll explain later. We have got Warhammer stuff to give away, Pokemon stuff to give away. We've also got a ton of other prizes from a number of our exhibitors to give away, including clothing, keyboards, headsets, and other stuff. So just by playing, going to that stage, you could play a lot of retro and some of the latest games and take part in competitions, win a load of prizes. And then we have our main stage, which we will do an official announcement
Sorry, people.
tomorrow. But we signed the deal today, and we'll do the official announcement tomorrow. But we can tell you that the main stage is going to be called the Techware stage, because they are our second headline official partner. And Techware does some awesome gaming PCs,
Nice.
and mice. And if I am allowed to show this off, because these are some of the prizes, we are giving a lot of these away as prizes. They are not cheap, but there will be other prizes that they're announcing. But they've officially come on board as a partner, so they are doing our main stage. And we think we've outdone ourselves with the main stage, because we have got some really great stuff lined up. Not only are we kicking off with our opening keynote from the one and only one and only Jason from the Gadget Show. The guy's an absolute legend. Mr. Let me get his name right, because I want to get it wrong. Mr. Jason Bradbury, who is probably the nicest guy on the planet. He's doing an opening keynote, talking about his time on the Gadget Show, talking about some of his favourite games as he grew up, the fact that he actually starred in one of the Assassin's Creed games, the fact that he owns a Back to the Future DeLorean, and the fact that he's actually working on a new UK film which is about gaming, and he's actually agreed to stay there all day and talk to people and sign autographs.
That's so cool.
Amazing.
He's going to stay there all day, which is amazing. And he's our opening guy at 11:45. We've then got Melanin Gamers that are going to talk about if you want to turn content creation into a legitimate business and make money from it. They're also going to talk about diversity in content creation. We've got Debug Magazine as well, who are going to have 2 of the devs from the 18 games that are being showcased actually showcasing their games live on stage. The Debug are going to talk about Debug, and then you're going to get like 2 20-minute snippets of exclusive games for the indie game panel. We've then got our content creator panel, which has become a great fixture. We brought it back for its second year. We've got 6 content creators of varying sizes come from all different countries. So we've got people that have come from, ironically, the Netherlands. We've got people coming from Ireland. We've got people coming from Wales, England, etc. And some are huge creators, and some are creators that literally have only been going a couple of months. So it gives a good span across the board. On top of that, for the first time, we've got a guest host for that panel, which is the legendary Mr. Josh Strife Hayes, who is a well-known Twitch streamer and YouTuber. And not only that, he's part of Session Zero, the D&D group, who do live stage shows and stuff. So we're very welcome to have him because he is a big name. On top of that, we've then got our mate Slope, Mr. DJ Slope, or Slopes as I call him, is returning. He was on the content creator panel last year and also helped do one of the competitions. He is bringing his gaming quiz. So we're sitting around doing an hour pub quiz style gaming quiz where you can win some prizes live on the main stage, which is going to be great. Not only that, we've got Ashens, the legendary YouTuber, Twitch streamer, comedian and film star, also doing a keynote talk. And then that massively goes into the fact that we then end all the panels with what we call the Legends panel, where we have people from games of 30 years ago and including up to games now, people that work on games over many years, have worked on some big name games, talking about their experiences, the fun times. We've announced 3 out of the 5 guests so far. We are going to announce our 4th guest. I'm not allowed to tell you who that is later this week, we hope, with the 5th to follow. But so far, we've got the legendary Graham Norgate, who worked for Rare. Who worked
amazing.
He works on GoldenEye and a numerous other games.
Excuse me, you better mention the one game.
What do you want me to say?
Boy?
Time Splitters 2.
So he worked on Time Splitters, and the thing is, he still works in gaming up to this day. And the most recent game he worked on, Dead Island 2, which came out last year, which I'm a massive fan of, as you know. We've then got Ross Tregenza, who has worked on, funnily enough, the Time Splitters games, Gears of War, Sonic Team Racing, has worked on Deathloop, Cyberpunk, and most recently Helldivers 2. He did Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well, which came out last summer. So we got him. We have got a guy that I was very lucky to interview earlier this year, with his Alex Trowers from Bullfrog, who worked on Theme Park, Magic Carpet, Syndicate, and most recently was Gang Beasts. I didn't realise he had something to do with Gang Beasts, which I adored as well. So we've got him, and we'll have 2 other guests talking about that. And again, people in the audience can ask questions. I like that, Alex Trowers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a running joke. So we've got that. And then on top of that, we will then we're encouraging people to turn up in cosplay, because we've got the wonderful Jinx, and we've got some official cosplay judges, which hopefully Jesse's going to agree with this. We're hoping to announce who the judges are this week. And you can turn up in cosplay, and we're going to do official cosplay parade. So you get to be on stage, showcase your outfit, and the judges will go away and pick some winners. And courtesy of Sneak, the top prize for the cosplay competition is 2 tickets to MCM Comic Con London in October. So someone is going to win 2 free tickets to MCM Comic Con in London just for taking part in the cosplay competition. We are then going to also do the finals of Just Dance and hopefully have a performance from the Just Dance Ubisoft creators, which is a great way to end the show. And then on top of that, we then do all the thank yous. We're going to give away all the other prizes and give away. So we've got some prizes from Samsung to give away. We've got stuff from Insert Coin. We've got stuff from Format. Simran's donating some stuff. Enhanced Aim.
Yes.
Gambit Gaming as well. And on top of that, we've got prizes from Samsung. And then the big prize, we've got 2 big prizes. One being that just for buying a ticket, because we've done this every year, to say thank you to someone for just buying a ticket and showing their support. The first year we did this, we gave away a PlayStation 5, which was the Horizon bundle. Last year, we gave away a number of Backbones, PlayStation and Xbox. This year, we are giving away a GT Omega chair, which is worth over £150.
Nice.
GT Omega are an amazing Scottish company who make some amazing stuff. And we've got 1 chair that someone from the audience is going to win. And then we've got another one which is worth 165, but we're not telling people how they can win that until they turn up to the event.
Amazing.
But we will have one of those chairs for people to check out, and it's going to be signed by all the content creators, because for the first time ever, we have got our very first content creator lounge run by our friends at the Gamer Guide, where they're going to be running some crazy games and quizzes in there. Plus, the content creators can network and they can get some free pizza and some free tea, coffee. Plus, they've got some other little freebies that they're going to get. But it also means that they've been helping to promote the event, like yourselves. So obviously you guys are very much welcome in that lounge as well, because you're part of that team. But you get to network with other content creators and people and get to chill out on the cozy sofas. And there's also a private bar and private toilets for content creators as well.
Well, Kylie's now set.
We might not be creating much content then, or just really good content.
Jesse says we're going to remember the raffle tickets, aren't we? Well, actually, I had a discussion because Jesse doesn't know this, but Dave and me, before Dave went away this weekend, there was a conversation after the last time where we're like, oh, let's do the raffle, and then we forgot the raffle tickets, and Jesse had to run like a mile all the way down to the bottom floor to get it. But we think we found a way of doing it, which is very similar to how I do some of my prize draws on my stream.
Yes.
It will be automated. Ooh. So Jesse doesn't know that, but it's something Dave is working on, bless him. And we think that means it's going to save on raffle tickets, so we're not going to have to dish out raffle tickets or have people are not going to have fiddly raffle tickets or lose them. But yeah, literally, that is everything we have announced, and yet we've still got more to announce, and we're nearly 5 weeks away. We've potentially got some big sponsors to announce. We've got some more guests for Legends panel. We've got our guest judges for Just Dance to announce. We've got our judges, well, our MCs for the competitions. Yeah. And we've got more competitions to announce, and I think we've got more prizes and stuff to announce, which is insane. And technically, it's also on top of this. Anyone who went to Arcade Club last year and hasn't been since will be pleasantly surprised because the venue's got bigger. Mm-hmm. And ironically, I thought I'd seen all the work that they'd done, because now we've got this content creator lounge, which wasn't there before. We've got this now new main room where the exhibitors and the main stage are on the ground floor, which we didn't have before. The ground floor room is getting bigger as well. The one that you originally walked in, which is like the smallest room, is now even bigger, and they're chucking even more machines in there.
Jesus.
And I think that they're about to finish the work in the next 2 weeks. So now the venue holds even more people than it ever did before. And I believe there's certain other things, like the bar on the first floor is a family-friendly bar where they're going to start serving popcorn and other sweets. And like you can't get beers, but you can get soft drinks only. But it's geared towards kids and stuff, which is a family-friendly event.
That's a great idea.
You've got your bar on the second floor, which is normal and serves everything. And then you've got your restaurant and bar on the third floor, and that does all the food. And again, this is something we strive for. And again, kudos to Arcade Club for doing this. The food and drink is very reasonably priced. Mm-hmm. If you buy a beer, it's only going to cost you something like £3.50, £4.50. Certain spirits are cheap. And if you buy a burger or a hot dog or nachos or pizza, it's only going to cost you like between £3 and £4 instead of a tenner. The food is very reasonably priced.
I am not going to go broke going up there then, sweet.
You're not.
But do you want to talk about the VIP tickets, speaking of food? Because Pete and I have that, so we got a voucher to get food as well, I believe.
Yes, so
correct me if I'm wrong.
There are only 7 days left to get your VIP tickets. We have sold over 3/4 of the allocation. So
damn.
Either
that's 75%.
I know. So either one of two things is going to happen. The last 25 tickets are going to be sold in the next 7 days, which I think is highly likely.
Yeah.
Or we're going to be close to selling out. We have sold nearly double the amount of VIP tickets compared to last year. And not only that, I can tell you that last year there was over 50 quid's worth of free stuff in the goodie bag. There is over 70 quid's worth of free stuff in the goodie bag, and we still haven't stopped putting stuff in it yet. We've still got more stuff to confirm.
Amazing.
So a VIP ticket will get you in 1 hour earlier. So normal entry is 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. And I haven't even talked about the after party yet.
Yeah.
No, save it for another time.
We'll save it. But get you in 1 hour earlier. So you get in with the press people, you get in with the content creators, and you get in at 10 a.m., right? You get a limited edition goodie bag, which has got this year's logo on it. So you won't be able to buy this anywhere. You can't even buy it from our merch. So you get that. You get a VIP lanyard, which if you want to take part in any of the competitions, you throw up in the air when the judges say, who wants to take part in this competition? You get on stage before anybody else. So VIPs get first punt at the competitions, whether it's Mario Kart or Just Dance or whatever. On top of that, you get a free lunch token. Now, if you're lucky enough to be in the content creator, you're going to get some free pizzas anyway. But if you don't get that, you can either use it as a lunch voucher or a dinner voucher, and you can either get nachos, burger, a pizza, or a hot dog free of charge on us. You can get 10% off all our merch. We've got a limited edition merch for this year only, which is only available up to 2 weeks after the event has closed. But if you order it now, you'll get 10% and you can pick it up on the day and wear it. And we had people do that last year. And there's the merch that we always sell, that we will always have. And on top of that, in the bag as well, we have some Into the Spider-Verse gaming figurines, which apparently are quite rare now, courtesy of Zotek. We have a copy of Debug magazine, which is a great indie game magazine. We have, and I forgot to mention this, the host for the Legends panel is editor of Pixel Addict magazine, Mr. Paul Monahan. So there's a copy of Pixel Addict in there as well. You will be getting one of 4 special sneak shakers. So different people will get different coloured shakers in their bags.
I need to say something about Sneak Rack really, really quick.
Yeah.
I did not know this, and I told Max this earlier. I'm not a person who can have energy drinks because they're not good for your heart. Yeah. Guess what? Sneak does hydration packs or something. Yeah.
So in the VIP bags, we will give you a random sachet of one of the energy drinks. But we're also going to give you a random sachet from 8 different flavours that are giving you of hydrate drinks, which are basically like a form of like Lucasade thing. It's not necessarily an energy drink, but it rehydrates the body.
We use those at the gym. They're very important.
So if you don't like energy drinks, you get a sachet of the other one as well. On top of that as well, and if I'm going to show these off on camera if I can.
Good Danker. I see that. I see what you did.
Very lucky to get. I hope I've got them. You will get one of 2, courtesy of Insert Coins, in badges.
Nice.
So somewhere this one says "I need more sleep" with a little Nintendo Switch on it, and this one has a map on it that says "Doing side quests is my main quest."
Yes.
So you will get one of those badges, 2 badges in your VIP bag. And as I said, there is more stuff to announce, but that is over 70 quid's worth of free stuff. On top of that, when you even just walk in, Sneak Energy are going to give you a free Sneak drink as well. So there, and there's also other stuff in the Content Creators Lounge. There's some special free limited edition Assassin's Creed iced coffee in the Content Creator Lounge, and there's some other Sneak drinks in the Content Creator Lounge. So,
if you don't drink iced coffee, is there an alternative?
Yes, there is normal coffee.
If you don't drink coffee, is there another alternative?
There's going to be tea and water also on
Good.
tap.
That's good.
You can have tea.
Plus, there's also the private bar, so you can also get soft drinks and other stuff at the private bar.
Well, I'm pretty set then.
Yeah. The private bar is a paid bar, just going to state that in the Content Creator. But we are doing free tea, coffee, limited free drinks in terms of Sneak and this control coffee. But
it's amazing.
We're giving away pizzas, and then there's tea, coffee, water on tap.
Okay.
So there's all that. So yeah, there's
sorry. Has the wind up toy run out of energy?
Not yet.
Do you want to keep going? Is there more?
Yeah, keep going. Absolutely.
So when we close the main stage down at 7 o'clock, because the Sneak Challenge stage runs from 12 till about 5:30. The main stage runs from 11:30 to about 7 o'clock. We then close all the exhibitors down, and that allows them to pack up and go. And then kicking off back on the Sneak Challenge stage, we have got an opening DJ set from DJ Slopes himself.
Immense.
And we have one other thing to announce after DJ Slopes, and that runs from 7 o'clock till 10. So all the machines are on. It's just the main stage room that will be closed. So the indie game area, tabletop game area, that will close down. But the 4 floors of consoles will be on. The bars will still be open. You can get food till about 9 o'clock at night. The Content Creator Lounge will also close after 7 o'clock, also 8 o'clock. But you can play all the games you want and go onto the dance floor on the second floor and have a bop with some retro bitmap tunes and other stuff, and some other stuff that we haven't announced yet.
I know, I'm dying. So, any exclusives you want to drop?
Yeah. And then at 10 o'clock, we kick everyone out in a polite, orderly manner, and then they can go off to wherever they may go to have drinks, which we'll decide where we're doing that this year, because we haven't decided. So, yeah. and that's all included in the ticket. So
That's amazing.
And sorry, can I just ask, how much are these tickets?
Oh,
There you go.
Glad you asked, because a VIP ticket is £50. So bearing in mind, you get 70 quid's worth of free stuff and probably some more, plus a free lunch on us. And you're getting an hour earlier. You're getting a lot of money.
Wow,
back.
what incredible value for money.
Nicely done, Pete. Thank you. I could tell that wasn't scripted whatsoever. But that's going to be really cool. So that's 50 quid for a ticket. You can get a discount off that ticket by using a certain code. These wonderful people right here.
The code is RAPID24, where you get 15% off.
So you could pay £42.50 for your VIP ticket and still walk away with 70 quid's worth of free stuff.
Please use the code and make us look cool in front of Mags, please.
I'm desperate to look cool in front of Mags. I don't think last week did it.
I'm still not cool in his eyes, so you know. Not until I sell enough tickets.
If the VIP ticket is not something that takes your fancy, we do standard tickets, which are 20 quid. Again, you can get discounts off them. So you can
amazing.
So you could literally get a ticket for 17 quid with the
So
24.
I was going to say, does our code still encompass that as well?
Code is still valid, so you get pay 17 quid. Bearing in mind, to get in Arcade Club now is £18. So just using Rapid's code, you can get in for £1 cheaper, plus have all the other stuff that we're putting on. So it's a bargain. And you probably get to stay there way longer than you would for a normal opening hours of Arcade Club, because Arcade Club is like open for 6 hours and we're open for nearly 12. So you get all that. You can get a family ticket, which is 2 adults, 2 kids. Kids under 5 can go free. But if you've got kids that are between 5 and 18 and you're a family, you can go 50 quid. Now, if you bought those separately, it would cost you 60 quid, so you'll save a tenner. Again, you can use the discount code, so you could get a family ticket for £42.50.
That's really good.
And if you have only got 1 kid and you're a lone parent, you don't have to buy a family ticket. You can save yourself 20 quid by buying a standard ticket and a child's ticket for 30 quid and getting them discounted as well. So you can get that.
Sure.
We do group bookings on the standard tickets for 5 or more people, so you can get 10% off tickets for 5 or more if you book them in whole. But you can actually get better value if you book your tickets through Rapid Reviews and use their code.
Yes, please do that.
I have one question, because I know it's probably something that people may be curious about if they're coming from out of the area.
Yeah.
If they're travelling up to a big city, let's say, I don't know, Manchester, let's say, because what are the transport links going to be like getting from Manchester to Bury?
Okay, so what you want to do is if you get a train, coach or whatever, you can get buses from Manchester to Bury, but obviously that takes a little bit longer. But you can also jump on the metro, and there is a direct link which takes you to Bury city centre, and then you've got about a 10 to 15 minute walk from the town centre to Arcade Club.
Okay.
But the metros are pretty cheap. There is also free parking with over probably about 500, 600 parking spaces at the venue alone. But then there are also a number of car parks around in the local area are very cheap to park at. So parking is first come, first served, but they do have free car parks on site.
Amazing. And
free to park.
And obviously, similar question for those might be coming out of area, hospitality or hotels anywhere around the area.
Yeah. So there are 4. There's actually 5 hotels that we can recommend. If you go onto our FAQs, there is 3 hotels that are on there. There is the Premier Inn, which is across the road from the tram station.
That's where we are.
10-15 minutes walk to Arcade Club. In the opposite direction, another 10-15 minutes, you've got the Village Hotel, which again you can walk to, which is close to Arcade Club. If you're driving, there is I know Ben has stayed there from Bullion. There is the Marriott, which I've also stayed at, so that's like a 5-minute drive outside of. But also for people that might be driving on one junction up from Bury, because it's quite close. Arcade Club's close to the motorway. There is also a Holiday Inn and a Travel Lodge next to each other. So if you are driving, you can actually use those hotels because they're just as cheap. But all hotels are on our website in the FAQ section, and all travel links for rail, bus, and planes, because we have got people coming from Canada, America, Ireland, Germany.
Yeah.
We've got people coming from all over the world this year. More people this year than last year.
And if people wanted to find out all this information, where would they go?
They will need to go to www.timelessgaming.co.uk. That is www.timelessgaming.co.uk.
And everything
in the show notes.
I was just about to say that, Kylie. Thank you.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, also the code will be available in the show notes as well. Remember, Rapid24 for 15% off. You have 5 weeks. 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just
7
so
days
people...
VIP. 7
There
days
you go.
And Nana has now posted that in our Twitch chat as well, so thank you, Nana.
So much, Nana.
Thank you.
And just so people know, Pete and I will be there. We're still discussing the details of what we're going to do, but it's probably going to be a live show in some capacity.
Yeah.
Very similar to our WASD.
Okay, can I ask then, is there going to be an area in the Content Creators Lounge where we are able to go and record? No.
Possibly, depending on how busy that lounge is. The lounge is not the hugest lounge. I can see it being quite crammed in there. I would say you probably stand a better chance at one of the tables at the back end of the restaurant, because the restaurant's quite big. Near the restaurant bit of the bar, it's quite busy, but I think if you pick your time, you might find a nice quiet table on the
so
be able to do it.
All right, well, this is an open call out to anyone who is attending the event. If you do want to come and join us and talk about Timeless, you might get attacked by us, you might get inundated with some requests. Feel free to come and collar us and come and join the podcast and talk about how amazing Timeless is going to be.
Yes, and I will be wearing the shirt that I did wear on here a few months ago of my digital shirt of Mags's face, and then it also says #1 fan girl, and then sometimes it says rap reviews, but sometimes
only sometimes.
Mag's face.
Only
sometimes.
Yeah.
So you should be able to find me and Pete very easily, and we will be accosting people.
Yes, but also please check out the Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, account, RR Radio Pod, and you'll see what we look like in case you don't actually watch the show.
That's a good point.
If you're just a listener and you've never seen us, then you can check that and see what we actually look like, what we're wearing on the day, and you can come and find us that way.
I actually forgot. We have a whole lot more listeners than we do watchers.
I remember them. Thank you.
Yes, I know. And some of you will be there. Yes, I will be the nearly 6 foot tall blonde wearing a Mags t-shirt. Digital t-shirt. Pete is actually taller than me. And
There or thereabouts.
I'll be the person that you can't see standing on stage because I'm so short. But you'll be able to hear me from the other side of the building because I'm that loud. Especially when I have a microphone.
Well, he'll be the very handsome man on stage who also looks like the handsome man on my t-shirt.
Brilliant. So
that's what you get when you come on this show.
Mags, one more time for those who didn't hear you at the back. Where do they find all of this information?
Go check it all out at www.timelessgaming.co.uk.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Well, we're going to wrap up this portion, but we're going to still stick around for our post show, which if you're a listener and you want to check out our post show, please join us at www.twitch.tv/rapid reviews.
But you can also find the pre and post show on YouTube once it is uploaded at the same time as the podcast goes live.
P has started doing that. Oh yes, Big Jesse also will be there. He says not to put people off, but come on.
I put that it's the best part of the show, having Jesse there.
There you go. To be fair, I will be very unbiased. Believe it or not, I'm being unbiased. Big Jesse will be there taking photographs. He's an amazing photographer.
I'm going to say this now. I'm going to shout him out now. That's all right. He did a phenomenal job last year, and he had his work
amazing.
Not only covering everything, but he's got to get up and down 4 floors of stuff.
Yeah, the photographs from last year's events were absolutely incredible when I checked them out.
Bless him.
The photographs of Mags are amazing.
I was going to say, he biased.
Yeah, a little bit. He
does a heck of a lot of work behind the scenes. He is the guy responsible for the website. and a lot of stuff. I just throw the stuff at him and say, "Can you do that?" And he gets it up and he makes it all look as amazing as it does. And I want to shout out a big shout out to Jesse because we are a very small team of people, 4 people, and I'm going to put this out there that in kind of the packing order of who like does the most work, it's kind of like me and Jesse are like, right,
Yeah.
and then the other 2 people are just underneath that. But Jesse works his arse off for us, and I very much want to say I very much do appreciate what he does for us because there's a lot of stuff that we couldn't do without him. So thank you, mate. Appreciate everything you do.
I second that.
Buy the man a drink when he's at the event, just to say your thanks.
Water, because he doesn't drink.
So
Doesn't matter what drink it is, just buy him a drink.
He doesn't drink either.
I'm going to buy him a couple of burgers because last time he was like, I think he said when he was there, he went, I bought this, and this, and I only spent £8, and it was like 3 lots of food and some drinks. And I was like, right, I'll just buy a load of burgers or hot dogs for him or whatever. Well,
nice.
bunless again because he doesn't eat the buns, but bunless. But we get.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Jesse and I both have digestive issues, different ones, but similar. So yes. So
Right.
thank you so much, Nana.
Thank you. I'm going to hydrate. Actually, I'm going to grab a drink from.
Yes, you do that.
I just did.
While we wrap up this portion of the show. I have a lot to talk about, but Pete, I'm going to start with you and then move to Mag.
Sure.
Pete, where else can they find you and other things that you do in social media and stuff like that?
So I mostly man the podcast Twitter, which is sort of goes inactive sometimes, but that's at RR Radio Pod. But I do another podcast that's usually every 2 weeks, but has been on a bit of a hiatus recently because scheduling issues. It's the Never Watchers podcast, which is a movie-based one where we cover MCU and other films. So we're hoping to return next week with June Part 2. The film has been watched. We are ready to go. We're just waiting for scheduling to be done for the people. So, check back next week. I should have the episode out ready to listen to. Other than that, you can hear me on this show and occasionally guesting on other podcasts. TBC, let's be honest.
Yes. Mags, I'm going to move to you because I think I'm going to do a little bit of a spiel about myself. So, Mags, where else can they find you?
So I am normally on Twitch from Monday to Thursday at 9 p.m. UK time. You can find me playing the latest new games Monday and Thursday, whichever's come out. This week we have got a very special sponsor stream that I'm not allowed to announce until tomorrow, so you'll have to tune in. See that we've not done a sponsored stream like this since January, and then on Thursday, oh my life, do you think I can actually remember what new game? Oh, it's going to be Angerfoot because Angerfoot.
Say I know your schedule.
Yeah, I don't know my own schedule, and I help bloody create the thing. But yeah, playing Angerfoot, which comes out actually on Thursday, which I can't wait.
We've talked about on this show. Well, we talked about at WASD, all 3 of us.
So
I'm very looking forward to that.
Can't wait for that. Tuesdays are Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews, and we've got lots of games to talk about. And our guest is a gaming dev who featured on our official Twitch meet, which is a game called Pifsy, which is an open MMO game that came out recently. So the devs are our guests on that show. And then Wednesdays is community night, and we're doing our monthly Fortnite private server thing, but we're also doing Dead by Daylight, which we haven't done in ages.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And a few other games. So, come and join us if you want to play a bit of Fortnite. But that's what you can get from me, the latest new games, some community games, and a cool little talk show that we like to do. So there you go.
Cool stuff.
I can't recommend it enough.
Kylie, do you want to plug your stuff?
Yeah. So I went to TwitchCon in case you didn't know.
No. I'm shocked.
I know, right? But it gave me a great blueprint, we'll say. And of course, I picked Mags's brain to death. And stuff. So I will start streaming regularly Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now those are each going to be separate kind of themed days, at least for the foreseeable future. Monday I'm very excited about tomorrow because I will be streaming Hitman. And I'll have drops. I'm gonna have freaking drops, people. I'm very excited about that. And yes, it is the Kill Conor McGregor map. So you can come and laugh at me because I probably won't be able to. Because I like to do lots of adventurous things and I get killed for it.
Nice.
But it's always fun. And I always like to do challenges where Hitman's concerned. My favorite challenge being kill everyone on the map. And just like, that's my favorite. It never works out because duh, there's a ton of people on the map. And then, oh yes, Danker said, did you pick up that free horror I sent you, Kylie? Yes, I did. I want to thank Danker because actually, you know what? I'm going to take the time right now and say Mondays for me are going to be FPS. Usually shooters. Wednesdays are going to be weird Wednesdays. I do have a weird game lined up called Digital Audio Wasteland, which is a strange one, but it's highly rated. And then Fridays are going to be my kind of horror stream. Now I like a little bit of different horror. I like psychological horror, so it tends to be something like that. It's just fun. I just like fun, and I'm a positive streamer, so if you want to like have fun and laugh a lot. I won't be drinking on those streams. It'll just be me. Which is maybe disappointing. I don't know. So come hang out with me. That is KILAY_WILDE over on twitch.tv. I actually now, Pete and Mags, I now have a Twitter. I have both followed both of you. I cannot believe I have a Twitter. I kind of want to vomit saying that. But it does exist.
Sorry, you followed me?
I did. Well, I followed Rapper Reviews.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm probably never going to use my Twitter, but look, I listened to those panels. I listened to the TwitchCon panels. And they said to do it. They said to get a TikTok. I got a TikTok. Which, knowing me, I might actually do well on TikTok because I'm insane. And I'll figure out what insane things I need to do. So that's a thing that exists. So we'll see. We'll see. My goal is over the next 3 months, I would like to get 25 new followers. Hey. I would love to do that. But ultimately, just come by, hang out. It's just going to be a fun and positive stream. Just TikTok, it'll be great. Yeah, exactly. It's an X. It makes you feel better, or if that makes you feel better or worse. Yeah, I know. X marks the spot. Yeah. So I think that, like, what has it been, Pete? 7 months since I had anything to say at the end of our wonderful streams.
I don't know.
Because I think it's been about 7 months, and I've just been like, no, it may be in a year. Because I went off Twitter one year ago.
You did, yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. So get ready for insanity. And then I want to reach affiliate so we can do insane, crazy things on my channel, like redeem wine. No, I'm not really going to drink. Anyway. I think that's going to do it for the actual show, the actual podcast. Yep. And we thank you so much for our beloved listeners and our wonderful watchers. You guys, we could not do this without you. And I say this all the time, and I mean it every time I say it. You could choose to spend your time with anyone out there. And the fact that you choose to spend your time with us means the world to us. Not a joke. So thank you so much. And we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast. You can find the podcast on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and various other podcast platforms. You can also find the video version by searching Rapid Reviews on YouTube and watch the podcast recording live on Twitch at twitch.tv/rapidreviews at 7:30pm UK time every Sunday. Please make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at RRRadiopod, and for all the latest reviews, visit www.rapidreviewsuk.com or on Twitter at RapidReviewsUK.